Hello everyone, and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where Sean and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I am Tennille.
I am Sean, and we are here in the year of 1975 with a heckin' charmin' movie.
Oh yes, yes indeed. 1975, you've been pretty good so far. I mean, last time was a little rough, but you know what? I'm
Ups and
happy.
downs.
I'm
Ups
happy.
and downs.
I'm super happy. This was a charming movie to watch. We watched the Pinchcliffe Grand Prix.
From Norway.
And like we already mentioned, this is a very charming film. It is done in stop motion.
Mm-hmm.
And the sets and the models here are all just like
adorably well crafted and intricate.
Yeah, like just charming in the best possible sense. I say that, and yet there's like this, there is a bit of a like ugliness to it too.
Mm-hmm. It's like we're doing a slight ugly on purpose.
Right. But it's still charming.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't branch over into that uncanny or, I don't know, just doesn't look right. Even things that are ugly are just kind of ugly because it's like, yeah, this is ugly. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who we are.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, the art style reminds me of older European stuff where it's just like, yeah, that's kind of weird and ugly by today's standards. Mm-hmm. But that's just kind of what things look like in that day and age. And that's what this movie is emulating.
Are you talking about like old European paintings in like books and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like honestly from near this time period.
Right,
like the 70s, like
the
60s.
70s aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Of it's slightly ugly, but that's okay. That's just how things look.
Yeah.
There's probably a little bit too much detailing going on in this face. It's cool.
It's alright. It's just how it is, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked this movie. Do you want to talk a little bit about the plot?
Sure. I mean, the plot is real easy. Mm-hmm. We have an old bike repairman guy that lives on the top of a super tall mountain thing in the middle of Nowheresville, Norway.
Apparently based on a real place.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
Yeah.
Well, he used to have an assistant that stole some of his invention-y plans to make cars go fast, because while he's a bike repairman, he's also just like
an inventor. An
eccentric inventor. Of course he is.
I mean, his whole mountain life is like completely self-sustainable, like with all of his inventions and stuff. And the movie takes time to like show off his inventions and like how they quote-unquote work and all that. And it's just another thing about this movie that's super charming is seeing all these models of these inventions this guy's made and how, like, he gets electricity and he makes the little duck's bike work and, yeah, continue. There's a little duck in this movie.
Yeah, he's assisted by, is it a duck? It's some sort of anthropomorphic bird character.
Yeah.
It could be a duck. It could be like a raven.
I think it's a duck.
It could just like it feels like it's a duck, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It's a little bird character. He's super energetic, and then there's this like.
Is he a mole?
I don't think he's a mole. I think he's more of like a brownie or a gnome or some sort of fey creature, like a troll or something.
Okay, yeah.
Like, he's just this little weird, furry, dirty, hairy man that's scared of everything.
Uh-huh.
And he's really cute.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, like, so unsure about everything that happens, and everyone's like, it's okay. It's fine. Just go, it's all good.
He's kind of the voice of reason to the duck who, like, jumps head first into things and such, but, like, nobody listens to him, so... Of course.
Yeah.
Trouble still happens.
It's great. Anyways, this inventor guy had an old assistant that stole his invention to make...
Apprentice is what
Apprentice.
they call him.
To make car go fast, and so this guy became a professional racer and is also the head of his own company and stuff like that, and so he's the best racer in the world, and the little duck is like, how dare he show you up? Well, we should make our own car, and the inventor dude's like, well, we don't have any money.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't you know it, there happens to be an oil baron camping out... An oil chic. Just camping out in town for some reason.
Sure, why not?
It makes the plot go forward.
Yeah.
So the duck slips him the plans and then makes a big deal of it in the local news. Oh, I just gotta say, I love this town that they've invented.
Uh-huh.
Like you said, it's based on a real thing, but it's like the local news network is just run by everyday people, like...
Right, like this is their only job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, and today the sports will be covered by Harald, who also is a local sheep herder or something like that.
Yeah, Harald the sheep herder.
And so it's just like this older guy that's like kind of buck-toothed. Everyone's just kind of like, I don't know, we're people. And like, it's like, you're on air. It's like, oh, okay. And today's news we're talking about, and like reading off of a paper. It's so heckin' charming.
So charming. Well, and they've got like... There's one point where they like all come together because they're celebrating the guy building his car so that he can race in the Grand Prix, and we see all these same people that we've seen on the news are here at this like celebration, and they're all also part of the town's like band.
Of course.
Yeah, and like they all just pick up their instruments and start playing, and
it's
the
great.
main guy has a harmonica he plays every once in a while. It's just full of like rustic charm.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, the oil chic is like, hey, I love the design of this car. It looks like it's really fast. I bet it could win in a race against, what is his name? The apprentice guy has like generic evil bad guy name.
I don't remember what his name is, but I know the company he works for is Snake Oil.
Yes. Like his name is a compound of like Gore
Slimy.
Gore Slimy, that's his last name. His last name is Gore Slimy. Ooh, wonder if he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's great.
A little silly. This movie's pretty silly. There's also another duck character that is a belly dancer for the Sheik, which is weird.
Uh-huh.
I'll just leave that at that's a 70s thing, and that's weird.
We
but
have
you know
a sexy
what?
duck in this movie.
But you know what? They don't overdo it a whole lot. It focuses on her belly a little too much.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna address it here. It's in the movie, but otherwise I am looking the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, Inventor Man gets the money to make his car. He spends the next half a year, the next year building the car. And of course, it looks really silly and over the top and ridiculous and has things like a radar.
Right. A radar to find hidden paths.
If it's foggy or cloudy.
Yeah. And it has 2 speedometers so that when one gets full, the other one can start.
It's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
So there's going to be a Grand Prix here in tiny town of Pinchcliffe, and so we have people like an Italian guy and a Swedish guy and like a French guy, I think.
There's someone from Ireland too.
Okay. Just like a bunch of quote-unquote famous race car drivers and their own like actually modern day racing vehicles
cars
compared to the Pinchcliffe car, which is
like a stick shift.
Oh, it's a stick shift based on like
with a radiator.
It's like based on like a 30s to 50s car.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Because this guy's old, and of course he designed his car after an old sensibility.
Right.
Also to just make it more charming.
Mm-hmm.
And then the race happens, and because Gore Slimy came in the middle of the night and tampered with the machine, halfway through the race, it starts going haywire, so the good guys aren't winning anymore, but don't worry, they're able to hold it together and win in the end.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a racing movie. What did you expect was going
It
to
takes a
happen?
really long time to get to the racing. I will say that for a racing movie, this movie's very, very slow-paced.
Yes.
And that's not a bad thing, but it definitely makes it so, like, you've got to be in a certain mood to watch this movie.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, it's going to be slow, and that's just how it's going to be. But once you get to the race, wow, is the cinematography
Really outstanding.
well done.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, this is stop motion. But, like, they have a camera that...
Zooming around the track.
and stuff, and like they have shots where it looks like the cars are like literally jittering along quickly across ground that is zooming past, and I'm honestly just curious how they did that.
Yeah,
In stop motion.
it's got to be some kind of photography trick. Like I don't know enough about photography to know exactly how they made that work.
It honestly makes me wonder if it's some sort of compositing thing where the cars weren't actually like they were shot on like a still thing. And then they did like a sliding shot and then just composited the cars on top of it. I don't know.
There's definitely some kind of like blue screen
trickery going on. But it is so well done that you can't really even tell.
Yeah, it's like one of my notes here in my book is that like some of these effects just like really, really hold up well,
Yes.
even after all this time.
I mean, one thing to note is we did watch a remastered version of this film.
Oh, okay. I guess that could be something, but like you never know how much is actually remastered or not.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I doubt, like, they probably just cleaned it up a little bit, but even still, you can only clean it up so much.
Right.
This is very well done.
Yeah. So, notes about this movie. It is, according to my sources, the most widely seen Norwegian film. And in fact, was the most successful and highest grossing stop-motion animated film until 20 years later when The Nightmare Before Christmas came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. That seems reasonable.
So yeah, it was a huge success. It seems like, this is one that is still extremely treasured in its home country and even in other places because it's been
Ported around
to other countries and dubbed in other languages.
I mean, like, the DVD we got was, like, from Norway. And it had, like, I want to say 5 or 6 different audio options.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. It was based on a series of books by Norwegian cartoonist Kjell Aukrust. I'm sorry I always struggle with these names, but like...
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce a lot of European names either, but we've put it on screen.
Yeah.
Again, we always apologize. We're really bad at pronouncing things.
Directed by Ivo Caprino. And it actually started out as a group of TV shorts. It was supposed to be that, where it was based off of these characters, and it didn't really have a plot, but about a year into production on that, they're like, you know what, this just really isn't working. So they scrapped everything, and as far as I could tell, those shorts have never been shown to the public at all.
Interesting.
Maybe a few bits and pieces of them made it into this film, but that's just kind of speculation. And this whole movie was made in about 3.5 years by a total of 5 people.
5 people?
That's what my sources say.
Is that just like the animation and sets, or is like that literally everything?
That is like literally everyone.
5 people?
Yeah. It's really amazing, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Like, kudos to you guys. You're an inspiration to us all.
Holy crap.
As someone working on my own personal project with a small team, I'm like, wow. Hats off. Props.
Damn. That's
This is
amazing.
me clapping. But I'm holding a water bottle, so it sounds weird.
Real briefly here, I want to say thank you to Bjorn Harald for bringing this movie to our attention, that we could buy it. So thank you for finding this movie for us. Otherwise, we would not have experienced this, and I'm so glad that we did.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not done.
Okay.
There was a full-scale replica of the car made in Norway to promote the film.
What?
Yeah.
Just a full-size model.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's so cool. I hope that's in a museum somewhere.
I should hope so, especially seeing as this is the highest grossing stop-motion film for a very long time.
Yeah.
How did we not hear about this movie? How do we not hear about any of these movies?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that this probably would have been something had we not grown up in one of the biggest animation booms of the century.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have heard about this one. But
Okay,
you know,
that's fair.
since we grew up during the Disney Renaissance and everybody was making animated films at that time, and there was just so much other media for us to consume.
People weren't really looking back at the 70s.
Yeah, a lot of older stuff kind of got probably pushed aside. And granted, this could just be our own local experience, too.
Growing up in Nowheresville, America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that probably also has a big part of that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is a really, really charming one. I think it's easy to say that Sean and I both recommend checking this one out if you haven't.
Oh, absolutely. Check it out if you can.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this review. But that means that we are moving on to the next movie. The year's probably going to get worse now.
Oh.
Because we're about to watch Tarzoon,
Oh, no.
Shame of the Jungle.
Oh.
Another adult animated film.
Well, viewer discretion advised next time, kiddos.
Whoopee.
Bye-bye.